And don't forget to order your copy of Football Game Plan's latest book, Stiff Arming Football Myths, an excellent book that you can find on our website at footballgameplan.com/books, available in both PDF as well as paperback form. Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2014 NFL team preview for the Carolina Panthers. We're going to take a look at their offense, their defense, as well as their special teams. So let's start on the offensive side of the football with the quarterback position. Cam Newton is entering his fourth season in Carolina and has gotten better each and every year. And as he has gotten better, so has the football team. Newton helped lead the Panthers to the playoffs last year, scoring 92 touchdowns in his 3 seasons as the starting quarterback, and is the unquestioned leader of this squad. Both Derek Anderson and Joe Webb provide depth at the position, but Cam has proven to be durable, and those two will more than likely not see the field. The Panthers have a nice stable of backs with D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, and even fullback Mike Tolbert, who made the Pro Bowl last year and was an All-Pro. And the hope is that Stewart, who missed 17 games over the last 2 seasons, is at 100% because the combination of D'Angelo Williams' fluidity and grace combined with Stewart's power and burst makes them one of the best 1-2 combos in the game. The Panthers also have Kenyon Barner and drafted Tyler Gaffney out of Stanford in the 6th round, but in my opinion, undrafted rookie free agent Darren Reeves out of UAB is a much better back than those two and should make some noise in the preseason. Losing future Hall of Famer Steve Smith is a huge blow, and he left a big hole at the receiver position. Understanding that, the Panthers addressed this in the offseason by signing veterans Jericho Cotchery, Jason Avant, and Taquan Underwood, none of which, in my opinion, are difference makers. In the first round of the draft, they selected Kelvin Benjamin out of Florida State, a 6'5", 240-pound wide receiver that actually plays his size, which is a great thing. The Panthers didn't double down in the draft at receiver, and it was a deep draft to do so, so this is still a huge question mark entering the season. And 2 guys that I think are solid and deserve much more involvement in the offense this year is Kealoha Polaris, who's coming off an injury, and Marvin McNutt out of Iowa, a guy that does a great job with his routes and has dependable hands. Now, the tight end position is in much better shape. Greg Olsen was the leading receiver last year with 73 receptions, over 800 yards, and 6 touchdowns. They've added Ed Dixon in free agency from the Baltimore Ravens, who can be a reliable second option. And I'd also keep an eye on DC Jefferson, who's a big body tight end at 6'6", 255 with very good receiving skills. Center Ryan Khalil is the glue that holds this unit together, and there's plenty of questions surrounding him. He is a lone answer up front, and the hope is that guard Amini Siotolu can return at 100%. If he can, he was actually getting better and has a bright future ahead of him. And on the other side, you look at rookie Trey Turner out of LSU, who has a good chance to start as he'll compete with Gary Williams for that guard spot. The Panthers didn't draft the tackle, which was highly questionable. Instead, they feel comfortable enough with Nate Chandler and Byron Bell as their left tackle and right tackle, respectively. And if those two can play up to par, then all will be good. The depth, in my opinion, is lacking here, but one guy to keep an eye on is undrafted rookie free agent David Foucault from the University of Montreal. And he was a top CFL draft prospect that at 6'8", 320 pounds has very good feet and can play either tackle spot. This is by far the deepest and most talented unit on the roster. Both Charles Johnson and Greg Hardy combined for 26 sacks. Johnson is back at 100%, while Hardy was given the franchise tag in the offseason. They drafted Coney Ely out of Missouri in the 2nd round, and while he's not the explosive pass rusher, he's strong at the point of attack and can kick down inside if need be. On the inside, the Panthers struck gold last year in the draft with Star Latuile and Kawan Short. Both played great football on both ends of defense. DeJuan Edwards was steady last season despite battling nagging injuries all year long, and both Colin Cole and Mario Addison provide good rotational depth. Former first overall pick actually in the CFL, Lyndon Gadosh, is 100% healthy and could be a sleeper up front because he has Latuile-like ability. The Panthers have the best middle linebacker in the game right now in Luke Kuechly, and he was the Defensive Player of the Year last season after racking up 176 tackles and 4 interceptions. Outside linebacker Thomas Davis was able to play all 16 games last year and was a difference maker. And while Chase Blackburn was solid last season for Carolina, in my opinion, A.J. Klein is a much better football player and much more of an impactful guy at the position than Blackburn. I'm a big fan of D.J. Smith, who provides depth at the Mike position, but I would also keep an eye on undrafted rookie free agent Denikos Allen, who was all over the football field as a highly decorated linebacker at Michigan State. Gone is Captain Munnerlyn at cornerback, but I still think the Panthers may be solid enough on the flanks with Melvin White, who was an undrafted free agent last year. They got better each and every week, even starting 10 games. And free agent signing Antoine Cason, who's a fluid corner with ball skills. James Dockery and Charles Godfrey, a former safety, could battle it out for the nickel spot. Godfrey, in my opinion, is the better player and has the inside track. Josh Norman is still trying to prove his worth, while 2 rookies, 5th-round pick Benet Benwickery out of San Jose State and undrafted rookie free agent Carrington Bynum out of Texas have an excellent chance to see time in sub packages. Benwickery could also double down as a safety or a slot defender. At safety, the Panthers have Thomas Deku coming over from the Atlanta Falcons, Roman Harper coming over from the New Orleans Saints, and holdover strong safety Robert Lesser, who picked off 3 passes last season as an undrafted free agent that was also a starter for 4 games. Deku's 2013 season was an aberration. I think the Panthers got a steal right there. And at this point in his career, Roman Harper's value is as a nickel linebacker. The closer to the line of scrimmage, the better he'll play. I think Lesser should start at strong safety because of his ball skills. And they also have rookie 4th-round pick Trey Boston out of North Carolina, who will come off the PUP list and provide quality depth. I like the kicking game for the Carolina Panthers. Kicker Graham Gano was clutch last year, connecting on 89% of his field goal attempts, going a perfect 6 for 6 from 50 yards plus. Punter Brad Nortman averaged 47.8 yards a punt last year, which was up 4 yards over his rookie season. And now the return game is where I have the questions. They lose Ted Ginn in the offseason, who was an outstanding returner, and the hope is that running back Kenyon Bonner can handle both kickoff and punt return duties. The Panthers have one of the best young quarterbacks in the game, along with arguably the best defense. They can run the football with the best of them, and both the kicking and coverage units are top-notch. They won 12 games and the division title last year, which generated a lot of buzz, so you can clearly see why they are optimistic down in Carolina. The cause for concern for me is both the offensive line and the receiving core. I don't think the Panthers did enough to improve this area in the offseason, and you hope it doesn't derail what could be a promising season. The road to the Super Bowl for the Panthers goes as follows. Number 1, the questionable offensive line provides great answers. If they can play up to par and keep Cam Newton well protected and open up holes in the running game, then the Panthers will be tough to beat on offense each and every week. Defensively, they have to stay dominant. Remember, they were 2nd in total defense, points allowed, and versus the run, and number 1 in sacks. If the defense can stay dominant, they have a great chance of making some noise this year. And the receiving core has to play consistently good week in, week out in order for this offense to fully take flight and become a factor not only in the division but in the NFC as a whole. I have the Panthers finishing 2nd in the NFC South. When you're able to run the ball, play good defense, and special teams, you're going to be in and win a lot of football games. And what will keep them from taking the division is the questions up front and on the flanks. But make no mistakes about it, the Panthers are talented enough, however, to be in the prime position to take the wild card spot this season. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Panther fan forums for always showing football game plan support.